Phoenix area, we're climbing to 82 degrees as the Mountaineers meet the Sun Devils at Mountain America Stadium. And with Mike Golick Jr., I am JB Long. Both these programs with so much still to play for today. West Virginia needs to win its final 2 games to reach a bowl. As for Arizona State, if they win out, they still might have the chance to defend their conference championship.
Lots on the line today. For West Virginia, you mentioned year 1, Rich Rodriguez back on campus, getting those extra bowl practices, incredibly important. For Arizona State, familiar territory. You need a bit of chaos down the home stretch of the season, but we know the Big 12 can be giving in that area. This time around, though, Kenny Dillingham said, I think people expect Arizona State to be in the mix on this after representing the Big 12 college football playoff a year ago.
I mean, the most impressive part for both teams is that they're without their starting quarterback. The last time we saw these Sun Devils, it was a rainy day in Ames, and Jeff Sims was setting a school rushing record.
Unbelievable. Over 200 rushing yards in that performance. Got mobbed in the locker room by a team that really seems to support him, and now gets his first chance to make a start here at home in Tempe. Great opportunity for the grizzled veteran. On the other side, as he gets set to make his 4th start in an ASU uniform, Scotty Fox Jr. gets set to make just his 5th start in college football. Had to overcome a couple of those young freshman mistakes last week against Colorado, but they believe he's got the legs and next-level arm to do so.
His head coach, Rich Rodriguez, like Kenny Dillingham, leading his alma mater, and no stranger to this state or this stadium. For more on the coaching connection, here's Coy Wire.
Yes, West Virginia head coach Rich Rodriguez has had a significant impact on Arizona State's Kenny Dillingham. Dillingham says that he remembers studying him back in his high school coaching days. He admires the old school toughness, the I want to fight you mindset that leaves teams shell-shocked after playing them, but he said we will be ready. We have to bring that style to them first today. Rodriguez says he remembers Kenny Dillingham would come into the camps and clinics. He'd be the first one in the meeting rooms, and they couldn't kick him out. He was a sponge, absorbing everything he could, and he has mutual respect for Dillingham today. These two go toe-to-toe against each other in what promises to be a slobber knocker of a game.
Thank you very much, Coy. Rich Rodriguez 2-4 against Arizona State, all while down to 10 in Tucson. You get a look at our game day conditions for the 3rd meeting between the Mountaineers and the Sun Devils, the first in a decade. The 2015 Motel 6 Cactus Bowl that West Virginia won 43-42 behind 676 yards of total offense. Skylar Howard throwing them to victory. A historically early starts here in Tempe before the rain arrives this weekend. West Virginia and Arizona State with 3 weeks to go in the Big 12 regular season. The Mountaineers won the opening coin toss, elected to defer, so Sims and ASU will get it first. Nate Flower has taken over the West Virginia kicking duties, a touchback specialist, and he's from Fairmont, West Virginia, about a 20-mile drive from campus. Jaron Hamilton will likely get a chance to return. But special teams is one area, Mike, where Kenny Dillingham and company are looking to eliminate mistakes. They've been penalty-plagued recently, and a lot of them have occurred in the 3rd phase.
Certainly you want to give your veteran quarterback a defense that's continued to harass opposing teams. Plenty of chances to go out and impact this football game and hold up your end of the bargain.
Week 12 in the Big 12 is underway. And here is a fair catch. You mentioned the emotional reaction at Iowa State to Jeff Sims' victory. Marcus Arroyo, the offensive coordinator, told us yesterday he had not seen a locker room react to a single player like that in a very long time.
Jeff Sims' first win as a starter since October of 2022. What a cathartic moment now, a chance to add to that and continue the momentum for this Arizona State team.
His last game earned him AP National Player of the Week honors. A miscommunication from the pistol and a loss of 1 as West Virginia defensively picks up right where they left off when we saw them in Morgantown last Saturday.
And you get the look right here, a potent backfield. And just not knowing where the running back's going to be. Sims turns one way. Raleek Brown, who we expect to be a huge big play factor all day, goes the other. And that's how you start at 2nd and 10.
Raleek 3rd in the conference in rushing yards. Tries the right side. And again, the Mountaineers shut it down. Had 7 sacks last week. About twice that many tackles for loss against the Buffs. Esturinen, senior defensive lineman, wraps up the first two on this Saturday.
You mentioned they lived behind the line of scrimmage against Colorado, and a great challenge for this Arizona State offensive line that we know is without Ben Coleman for a number of weeks now. One of their leaders at center trying to block up this West Virginia front.
Tight end Shimon Mateer in the backfield next to Sin. Known passing situation, 3rd and long. He spins it to the sticks and caught shy of the line to gain. So at the 33, it'll be 4th down and a couple, a gain of 10 yards. As Derek Sabio, the sophomore from Plano, Texas, has his 10th catch of the season. And just now, the offense for Arizona State gives way.
About a yard plus on that. I understand this call and like it early in the game. You want to make sure your defense has a fair chance to get started on the right foot. I always believe you should be able to get a yard anywhere, but backed up this far into your own territory, probably not the place to roll the dice.
Preston Fox, the West Virginia return man. There's a new punter today for Arizona State as the junior Australian Matt McKenzie awaits the long snap. And indeed, they do punt it away. An end-over-end punt is fair caught at the 32-yard line. So the Mountaineers get a 3-and-out defensively, and here comes Scotty Fox Jr. Mike Weaver there in Orlando for his first career start. Now he's making his 5th in a row.
It's been amazing to watch the development. And we know in Rich Rodriguez's offense, your quarterback has to be a plus run threat. Scotty Fox Jr. can certainly do that. But talking to Rich Rodriguez, they really think it's the arm talent that has him with the chance to be not only the quarterback to help them finish out the season, but potentially the quarterback of the future in Morgantown.
Arm talent, yes, but how did they close out that win against Colorado? With 13 straight running plays to get their 2nd straight victory. And they begin on the ground with their quarterback to the 36 today, Miles Ghost Rouser, who missed the first half of the win in Ames. A senior defensive back from that targeting infraction, was massive in the second half, holding the Cyclones to only a field goal. Gets the start again here today. Fox's first completion goes to Grayson Barnes, and the tight end rumbles up to the 44-yard line. Keyshawn Elliott gets the tackle for ASU. It's a gain of 6.
And you're already seeing that pace on display right now. These become elongated handoffs to the perimeter, doing the math in the box of your Scotty Fox Jr., and then getting the ball to the perimeter where you're one broken tackle away from a first down like that.
Reigning Big 12 freshman of the week, Dior Hubbard is the tailback. They fake it to him. Throw up this team, cut by Rodney Gallagher with a first down in ASU territory. The junior from Uniontown, PA, whose best game came in the brawl against Pitt, has 19 from the right hand of Fox.
You mentioned Dior Hubbard was the big receiver last game, 269-yard catch, already getting this receiving room more involved early today.
Tight end Barnes in motion at the snap, paving the way through the right side for Fox. Untouched for a first down and a few more.
Boy, this is peak Rich Rodriguez right now. You don't know which way it's coming from at this point. Design run all the way. Dior Hubbard leading up to the 2nd level. You've got your tight end Grayson Barnes coming across the great kickout block. And now Arizona State gets the chance to sub and match personnel because West Virginia had to sub off as well. Huge break for Arizona State on defense to get some fresh legs.
After 14 more gained on the ground by Fox, at the mesh point, he gives Hubbard to the 20. He bounced back from that early injury scare last week for a career-high 158 all-purpose yards, in large part thanks to his 69-yard wheel route reception.
Gritty effort from him. This Arizona State defensive front going to be challenged on the edges by the zone read attack, having Prince Dorba back. Huge, one of the most athletic players on their defense.
Direct QB run into the red zone on 2nd down, leaves 3rd and manageable in what could be 4-down territory. West Virginia got to stop defensively to open this contest, and now seeking the early lead.
Can't script a better drive, and with 5 wide here, you got to be alert of quarterback run. It's why you're seeing 2 linebackers still in the box.
No question about it. Everyone in the building knew that was Fox, and he gets planted right on the 13, which was the line to gain. Let's see if they move the chains or if it's 4th and short. Tate Romney delivered the blow as we go to ref cam to track it down.
Right in the mix on a money down, one of West Virginia's favorite plays, as it appears they're marked short. So now 4th down, getting multiple tight ends onto the field as both sides furiously trying to substitute. And Arizona State playing the game to try and milk this clock down, stress West Virginia.
The ruling on the field.
How did you see
The runner
it?
started the line to gain.
That was good for
The
a
previous
first down.
play
Yeah, I think that's what
is
we're
up
going to take a
for
look
the
at right
review.
now, and I'm with you, JB. Based on where he had the ball at his backside hit the turf, I do think this is ultimately going to be ruled a first down. Yeah, I think that should be pretty easy to overturn. Ball in his left hand right there, you see over the top, but nothing hits until it appears well clear of where you see that marker in the backdrop.
A little bit higher vantage point here. Again, that yellow line unofficial, but it does give us a pretty good look at that 13-yard line.
Great hit by Tate Romney. But again, I think that ball well past the marker, and this should move the sticks. For West Virginia on a magnificent opening drive, a little bit of everything. You want it like Chris Tucker in rush hour, which y'all kick me? That's kind of how Arizona State feels on defense right now. And when this offense is humming, going fast, both pace and the players east and west, it makes it really difficult to defend.
Well, in movie catalog, I thought we might get a Dumb and Dumber with both these teams still having a chance with their respective goals, but Rush Hour was an unexpected pre-noon pull by you, Golick.
You're lucky I haven't started singing What Does the Fox Say yet. Give it time.
There might still be opportunity for Scotty Fox Jr. and the Mountaineers. A shout out to Michael Henderson, our umpire today, wearing that ref cam, giving us a good look at that hit that you referenced from the junior linebacker Tate Romney, trying to make Fox and the Mountaineers snap it again on 4th and inches.
I hope the rest of the crew rightly is calling him Tony Stark with that look.
Our referee is Luke Richmond, and he should have the announcement.
At the
on
further
line to
review, the runner did get the line to gain. It'll be first down, West Virginia.
All right, so no need for a 4th down conversion. Fox and Rich Rodriguez have enough.
The right call there, a fresh set of downs, and something that Arizona State's going to have to continue to monitor. On those money downs, West Virginia has shown over and over again, running Scotty Fox out of the gun with no backs in the backfield, one of their favorite plays to go to.
Take a look at the red zone stats. The last time these Mountaineers were on the road, they got an upset win at Houston. Now in Tempe against the Sun Devils. Sincere Bowers in their backfield. Fox drive continues. Muddy run down the middle to the 10. Bowers lost a red zone fumble last week against the Bus. Ball secure here against the Sun Devils.
Able to spell Dior Hubbard again, a little banged up early in the last game. So finding ways to distribute those touches around this offense to backs, receivers, and the quarterback going to be huge for them today.
First drive of the day for the Mountaineers. From empty. QB draw. Fox hit at the line and dropped. It'll be 3rd down. And Jordan Crook, Elijah O'Neal, that front for the Sun Devils, ready this time.
And you see the tackle game on the inside coming around here. Love those in draw situations. The offensive line's trying to block inside out, but handling movement when you know the quarterback's about to take off and run presents holes and options for the quarterback and then closes them quickly.
New set of downs available at the 3. Fox to the air. And wide of the mark. He was looking for Grayson Barnes. It's 4th down as the drive stalls in the red zone, and the kicking unit coming on, led by Cade Hensley for West Virginia.
Throwing at Keith Abney is tough business. Allowing just a 49% completion percentage, 4th lowest amongst Big 12 cornerbacks on the season. And you see them opted to play coverage, 6 up at the line, drop 7 out into coverage, and try and force Scotty Fox Jr. to throw it through some tight windows in the red zone.
A 29-yard attempt for Hensley, and West Virginia looking to strike first on the road at Arizona State. And it's 3-zip Mountaineers. 10th make of the year for Cade Hensley, the senior from Tennessee. 11-play field goal drive to begin the afternoon.
Great complimentary football. You end with points. Would have loved 7 in that case, but the speed of West Virginia's offense, the tempo that's such a hallmark for Rich Rodriguez, tough for opposing defense, especially on that first drive. Going to be very interested to see after the scripted plays, can Arizona's defense, Brian Ward's bunch, settle down a bit, and can their offense give them some relief and get a couple of first downs on this drive?
ASU traditionally great in the red zone defensively. They bend but do not break there. Another fair catch signaled for, and no return from the Sun Devils. Well, there's always the rest versus rust argument. A sorely needed bye week for Sims and the Sun Devils, but their first operation offensively did not look clean.
No, certainly didn't from play one, right? Quarterback and running back on the same page, but I think the rest important for this point in the season. Raleek Brown, one of the only rushers to take a carry last week outside of your quarterback. Jeff Sims, the punishment that he took and will continue to take. I think you needed all that time in the tub you can get.
Jordan Tyson, you saw him sidelined again. His return is approaching, though, perhaps as soon as next week in Boulder. Second drive for Sims begins with a handoff. Once again, West Virginia shuts it down with Vesturinen from Finland, who probably gets overlooked because nose guards usually get overlooked on the stat sheet, but he's been the model of consistency, according to defensive coordinator Zach Allen.
My Uncle Bob played nose guard in the NFL for a long time, said it's like being a fire hydrant in a dog show.
Play action, Sims whirls to throw into a tight window, and I think intentionally behind his target. Jaron Hamilton made a leaping effort. If he leads them up the hash marks, this may get picked.
Yeah, you're going to see the clear out here and then the route coming inside. And you're right, lurking in there, but that's tough. You're trying to thread that over the head of the linebacker, trying to put it on a spot, maybe like him to settle down a bit there. But either way, creating third and long, backed up again for Arizona State.
Jalen Moss actually the target, coming off his best game as a Sun Devil last week. Top of his drop, Sims immediately pressured, checks it down to his tight end, Shimon Mateo, between three Mountaineers at the 33-yard line. He's too short. Chase Wilson, the green dot linebacker, rallying to hit him.
And you're going to see right here the tackle game on the inside is going to produce a free rusher. Vesturinen, who we talked about, comes over, takes up two bodies. It springs the free rusher in Asani Redwood and forces the punt now yet again. A 3-and-out for Arizona State after that long drive by West Virginia.
Some murmurs of discontent from the home crowd here. Kenny Dillingham very on point in terms of the fourth down analytics, but twice now opting to punt on 4th and short. McKenzie gets it away. Between 6 Sun Devils, Preston Fox has the fair catch and another possession. What'd you say? What does the Fox say, Mike Golick Jr., Scotty Fox? He's next. We invite you to watch MLB Legends and Stars tee off in the inaugural Capital One MLB Open at Shadow Creek. Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT and HBO Max. Go to MLB.com/golf for more details. Scotty Fox Jr. at the switch, 51 scrimmage yards on that opening field goal drive. 2 of 3 through the air, 5 carries for 24 rushing yards. And now his second possession begins, up 3-0 at ASU. Bringing Rodney Gallagher in motion from the right side. We saw some of these jet sweeps get blown up by an aggressive Colorado defense last week. Only a yard here.
An important part of the diet of this offense, though, you've got to keep defenses honest on the perimeter.
Fox from empty. Gets it out of his hand quickly. Bowers the target. He's got the 41. It'll be 3rd down coming. Just the 6th catch of the year for the sophomore back. A gain of 4.
Great chance for this pass rush to try and get after it. 21st in sacks, despite the 3rd lowest blitz rate in college football. So despite the looks you get, Arizona State likes to end up sending 4. You see defensive coordinator Brian Ward right here trying to figure out how he's going to present a complicated picture to the freshman quarterback.
That plays on the further review.
Take another look and make sure that this catch was made by Bowers. Ward told us yesterday this is as healthy as his defense has been probably since September, so the bye week came at a great time for them as they look to close out their schedule and stay in the championship hunts.
So see right here the play in question. And I don't know if I ever saw the ball touch the ground. Oh, well, there we go. The second time around, the ball clearly out there. Teach me to open my big mouth before the play's over.
It's going to take them back into what, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 9.5. The 3-zip lead.
Huge down for Arizona State. Again, got to survive the ground going here. Never really has firm control of it. And if he'd have gotten it back there, I didn't think the nose of the football touched the ground prior, but clearly hits there. Should be an easy review. And You mentioned getting healthy here. Prince Dorba, they felt like he had been coming along at defensive end right before the couple of games that he's got to miss. And so the chance for him to get it down where you take a lot of the thinking out of the equation and try and get back there after the quarterback. Him, Clayton Smith this year, and the job that he's done, still tied for 8th in the Big 12 with sacks, even though all 4 of them came in September. You got to try and give these guys a couple of winning opportunities by how you play first and second down.
Busy day in the Big 12. Our replay operations center in Irving, Texas.
After further review, it's an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd down at the 37-yard line.
Dillingham getting his defense ready for 3rd down and long. It's brunch in the Big 12 today. Historically early kickoff for the ASU Sun Devils. West Virginia seeking a 5th win. They've got conference-leading Texas Tech at home in the finale. Need to win both these games to get to 6 and be bowl eligible. Fox against a 4-man rush. Spins one. Completes. And where it was caught, it appeared to be enough for a 1st down in the hands of Cam Vaughn. And they give him forward progress to the 48 and a 3rd down hit from Fox.
Cam Vaughn, the most explosive receiver, and so you see some of that respect. Keith Abney playing back off, a little bit more of a cushion, and now it'll break up and make a play in time. Great timing on the throw and catch.
With a fresh set of downs, now they can go quickly. Gerard Bowie with a catch and a nice block in space. He plunges below the 40 with another 1st down for West Virginia. And it was the redshirt sophomore Christian Hamilton with the block.
We got a Sun
Officials timeout.
down and
For an
seated
injury
on
on
the
the
turf
defense
right
player.
now.
This ASU defense already without X Alford out for the year in the back end of their defense. Boogie Wilson, the sophomore safety from Dallas, one of the leading Sun Devils, replacing him. ASU expected him to be featured prominently in today's game plan against the rushing attack of West Virginia. Needed him to have a great 6 minutes to go in the first.
Yeah, it looks like he catches a heel to that right knee maybe on the way down. Always tough in a pile like that. You got bodies coming from a couple different directions here as he talks it over with Kenny Dillingham on the sideline.
Sun Devils had been starting Montana Warren all over their secondary, and he's kind of now in a safety replacement role as they've gotten healthy in their back ends. A likely candidate to step in until Boogie Wilson can return to the game. Meantime, the second possession for West Virginia with a field goal on the board has reached the 36-yard line with a new 1st down. Sincere Bowers, good contact balance there. It'll fall the length of his body to the 31, a rush for 5.
Rich Rodriguez said they want to do a better job getting downhill up front in this run game, and you saw Landon Livingston at center, Nick Cray at left tackle have done a good job. Guys getting up to the 2nd level and making a pierce into this defense, getting some tough yards.
Bowers turns the corner, and he refreshes the downs at the 25-yard line. So yeah, the east-west is kind of a counter to that downhill identity.
It is. I think you need those inside handoffs. Kind of like defending the triple option, quite honestly, just the spread version. And now when you've got to respect that dive up the middle, everyone starts to crash down, and those jet handoffs create really bad tackling angles going inside to out.
Dillingham forced a punt twice on a pair of 3-and-outs to begin the day at home here. This has been Sincere Bowers' drop. And they give it to him again with a burst up the middle. He's back into the red zone. This is where West Virginia stalled out on its previous possession. But 6 yards to keep them on schedule before Montana Warren knocked into the turf.
You got the 2 tight end work now for West Virginia. Ryan Ward comes onto the field to join Grayson Barnes, present a different look to Arizona State on defense.
They move them to that strength. It'll be 3rd down and a couple.
You see Boogie Wilson coming back onto the field. A great sight for Arizona State, who their pressure comes in part because of what the back end can do. Their average time to force a pressure, 2.67 seconds, tied for the 5th longest in college football. It tells you they've got to hold on in coverage for that 4-man pass rush to get home, and that's worked well for them this season.
All right, we saw Bowers limping off. The short yardage back, Curtis Jones Jr., who debuted with a couple of touchdowns last week, picks up the sticks here. The sophomore bandit. That means he plays on the edge defensively. Rich Rodriguez told us as soon as they got on the goal line last week and he knew he was part of the game plan, he was breathing down his neck to get into the game, and he got in the end zone twice.
They said the package may continue to evolve for a guy that had that on tape for himself in high school, but to do it at this level and to do it, the most important area of the field in the low red zone, inspires a lot of confidence for his teammates and offensive staff.
Moving first quarter, controlled by Jones, and the Mountaineers bouncing off first contact. Warren drags him down. Zach Alley, his defensive coordinator, said of Jones that they've had some great moments on defense this season, but no one on defense has been more excited than when Curtis got those touchdowns.
You see your guy make it out to the other side, get to put his hands on the pigskin, and you get a look on the up cam there at what it's like to have all 6'4", 226 pounds of Curtis Jones coming at you.
They feed him again. Nearly got through with a stiff arm, but Ghost Rouser hangs on. Now you got Big 12 defenders around the league now just begging for offensive touchdowns in the closing month of the season.
I tell you what, you see what a different challenge he presented there. Defenders having to go low. All of a sudden at the point of attack, you're used to Dior Hubbard, who might run around you, and now you've got 18 coming downhill, ready to run through you on a big 3rd down here.
Jones sideline, Hubbard back. Fox calls his own number. I don't think he got it. Justin Watley forces 4th down.
Justin Watley, who had a big game against Iowa State. You see him coming across the top there. They've got a defensive lineman slanting out. He gets to play over the top and glide and make that play as the offense stays on the field. Rightly on 4th down here for West Virginia. Love this call, especially with your mobile quarterback, spreading the formation out, and of course, big Curtis Jones back on the field.
Last week, the Mountaineers picked up 3 4th downs on 4 attempts at home against Colorado. They're going for it here in the red zone against Arizona State, and Kenny Dillingham sprinting down the numbers to spend a timeout.
Charge timeout, Arizona State. This is the first of the half.
Well, I know it's early, but I think Kenny Dillingham understands how important this moment is
30-second timeout
for his team. That last play, West Virginia, the jumbo package in by their standards. 2 tight ends off to the right, Curtis Jones in the backfield, but you had all 4 receiving bodies over on the right side of the field. So they're trying to give their quarterback and run game a clear look there. See if you can get a numbers advantage by getting the defense plussed over to that side so they've got an easy rush there. Looked like they had it covered down, but again, Kenny Dillingham and this defense have to get off the field here, try and keep this within reach, because as we've seen on the other side, the Arizona State passing attack both last week and this week, not built to come from behind and necessarily throw you back into games if all of a sudden it starts to get out of whack.
I think you would agree time of possession, likely an overrated stat in college football, but it's notable that ASU leads the conference in time of possession, and they've punted twice, 3 and out. West Virginia's not been able to control drives, at least not until Fox has gotten going as their starter, and they've had all of this first quarter. This drive started on the West Virginia 37. Here comes the 13th play of the march. It's 4th down. It's Fox to throw for it. Incomplete. And the Sun Devils take over on downs. Jeff Weimer in the end zone was the target. Keith Abney and ASU stay within a field goal.
And a great time.
4th down stand in the red zone. West Virginia leading 3-0 as we check in with Coy Wire.
Yeah, Arizona State offensive coordinator Marcus Arroyo, Coach Kenny Dillingham thought they needed to change things up. Jeff Sims had 28 carries the last time where they were on that field, so they wanted to put some razzle-dazzle in. New formations, empty formations. Even see their beastly tight end Shimon Mateer in the Wildcat taking snaps as quarterback. Let's see if they stick with that plan or if they say, you know what, we haven't had success. Let's get back to what Jeff Sims knows. and that's Jeff Sims running the football.
He gives to Kanye Udo here. It's been a while since Udo's been part of the game plan. He had a 105-yard rushing performance in the Week 2 loss in Starkville. Only 46 yards rushing since.
It's been amazing, but such a big body in that backfield. To Coy's point about trying to take some hits off who have you been your primary playmakers, I think this drive getting back to some downhill runs with the quarterback and running backs important for this team.
Udo starts in the slot. They put him in motion. Sims makes the first Mountaineer miss, and that's his first intentional run of the game. It's also the first down for the Sun Devils as Nate Gabriel gets the tackle for West Virginia.
And so after that Udo run, bring across the formation, great pull by Jeff Sims, negotiating through some of the trash, and then getting downhill. He's a load to try and bring down, and they need to challenge the middle of this defense with that size early and often.
Brown in the formation. They swing it out to him. Needs a block. And the Mountaineers rally in space. Jason Chambers, Fred Perry get there.
Fred Perry always around the football, nothing new there, but bringing down Raleek Brown in space. An incredible challenge for the Big 12's
That is the end.
second leader in all-purpose yards per game.
At the end of one, a field goal for the Mountaineers. A first down for the Sun Devils, but they're deep up with Rodriguez.
Coach, your young quarterback looking poised in this hostile environment. Your assessment of him so far?
Yeah, he's into the game. Daggone, we had a couple opportunities there. We got to get touchdowns. But guys are playing hard. Scotty's making pretty good decisions. We just got to capitalize on that field position.
And this defense of these Mountaineers seem to be matching your intensity, shutting this offense down.
Yeah, we got to keep playing hard. They got a lot of explosive players. We're probably going to get a deep shot here pretty quickly.
All right, Coach. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Keeping the main thing. He understands that quarterback run, Raleek Brown in the short area of the field, all could give way to a shot down there. That was more of a staple of their offense with Sam Levitt at the helm, right? One of the best deep shot quarterbacks. Certainly that combination of him and Jordan Tyson produced so many big moments for this offense. But Jeff Sims still has plenty of arm strength to get ball downfield to Malik McClain, Jaron Hamilton, Jalen Moss, and the rest of these weapons still left on the field.
And Sims finally getting a chance to play in the sunshine. Seems like every time he starts for Arizona State, it's a monsoon. Second down and 12 as we pick up this second quarter. Raleek Brown split out. An access throw to Shaman Mateo. Roommates and buddies link up to get back between the sticks. Jamori Robinson working inside out for the hit. A gain of 4. And it looks like Mateo is going to be off for a third down.
That's huge. I mean, it's such a cliche, but the tight end security blanket really so true with Shimon Mateer. Such a great blocker. You saw that going all the way back to the Mississippi State game and that attempted comeback in the second half. So interesting to see who Sims tries to target with him not available.
Cameron Harpole, a tight end, to protect Sims. Stands in and deals. Back shoulder throw, and it hits to Malik McClain. Up against the sideline, working against Jordan Scruggs. That is a big-time throw from Jeff Sims for 25 yards.
And just recognizes one-on-one coverage. Scruggs in for Michael Coates, the better cover man of the two, and puts the ball in the exact right place. Great timing, anticipation by the veteran signal caller.
McClain had a huge game here against Houston. Last time the Sun Devils were on this field, that was without JT. And all those passes came from Levitt. Now he linked up with Sims. He pulls. Great decision. And a lead blocker near the 30-yard line as Cameron Harpole paved the way. Derek Carter Jr. ran Sims out of bounds, but not before he dashed for 21.
And look at just the tough spot he puts Jamori Robinson in. You want to put defenders in conflict on the perimeter of this. And then you mentioned good runs happen when the line blocks. Great runs happen when tight ends and receivers rough block. Great job by Harpole downfield to also keep his hands inside.
They shoot top 10 in the country in explosive runs, getting their quarterback involved. Fumble! Sims appeared to pounce on it as he coughed it up at the mesh point.
And that's the high-risk part of this, with all the different ways you're ball handling in the backfield. And that mesh point where the quarterback's got the ball in the belly of the running back can be dangerous. The running back starts to clamp down, thinks he's getting a handoff. The quarterback's trying to go as late as he can. Lucky to just fall back on top of that.
And the sticks again, this time in plus territory. Switch to the wide side of the field. West Virginia's showing blitz from the slot. They fall out and play coverage. Sims takes off. Got a linebacker to beat. Good closing speed there by Reed Carrico.
Phenomenal job by Carrico here. Everyone starts off, and you're going to watch these two backers drop back out. Everyone's playing coverage, but you get that gap underneath. Carrico does a great job breaking off his man and taking a great angle to the sideline, using it as that 12th tackler and getting him down.
Sun Devils in that fringe area, Mike, where Kenny Dillingham has probably told Marcus Arroyo, his offensive coordinator, you've got 2 plays to pick up 8 yards here.
Mateer back in the backfield potentially as a lead blocker here as well.
Jeff Sims sets the laces, clicking through his progression. Deep hits at the 10 and down to the 6. Jalen Moss dashing to first and goal with a pickup of 25 yards.
That calm in the pocket from Jeff Sims. Once again, bunch of bodies up at the line of scrimmage, but it drops back off. You get drop 8, so you've got 3 guys, so he knows as a veteran player, I've got some time, I can keep my eyes downfield and wait for him to clear that second window.
7 targets in the win at Iowa State for Jalen Moss. 3 catches, 52 yards, building in confidence. As a Sun Devil with Jeff Sims. To the flats, Mateer, touchdown! His 4th score of the season is the first touchdown of the day, and it gives ASU the lead.
Second on the team in receiving touchdowns. For a group that loves to use 2 tight ends as much as anybody in the country, a conference that's got so many great ones. And down here, when you've got someone that's as willing a blocker as he is, the defense has to respect it. You see him there with Harpole at the point of attack, and that quick motion back across, again, putting defenders in conflict on the perimeter, making a great play for a score.
The lefty Jesus Gomez on for the try. It's a clean operation and a 7-3 lead. It all started with a 4th down stop in the red zone on defense. Jeff Sims takes the Sun Devils down the field. 10 plays, 94 yards, and finds Mateer to hit Paters. From the ASU offense there, they had 3 plays of at least 20 yards on that possession. Sims went 5 for 5 on the drive, including the touchdown toss to Mateer.
You're going to see right here, Sims is going to come in motion this way to that way, and Israel Boyce in the back end is going to follow with him and end up getting caught up in the trash going back to this side of the formation. It's what happens when you get multiple tight ends on. A lot of bodies in one place, and all of a sudden you get that rub on the outside by the wide receiver. Good job by Malik McClain, getting just enough of them without making it too obvious for the referees, and springs his tight end for 6.
Mateer had scored in 3 straight games. He's joined some pretty illustrious company in the tight end history of this school. More on that in a moment. First, the Gomez kickoff. Preston Fox will let it sail over his shoulder. 7-3, Arizona State. TNT Sports is your new home for Big 12 basketball as well. We invite you to watch #1 Houston hosting Rider Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern on TNT, True TV, and HBO Max. There's a look at Sims, who Kenny Dillingham says is everything that's right with college football. For the first time in his career, he spent back-to-back years in the same system. For the first time as a Sun Devil, he's starting consecutive games. Scotty Fox begins a new drive. Sincere Powers is running back. Fox today, with 867 passing yards on his season, has now set a West Virginia freshman quarterback record. As we've documented throughout the last month or so, he's kind of in rare territory, getting the keys to the car this early in his true freshman season. Flat-footed, throws the in-breaker. Any flags? It's clean. Justin Smith-Brown against Keith Abney.
Came into the game leading the team with 9 pass breakups, adds another one there. Just sticky coverage the whole way. They trust these guys, Brian Ward and his defense, to go out, play man coverage, especially Abney. Get up on the line, get his hands on some of these West Virginia receivers and try and disrupt the timing of this group.
All the momentum now belongs to Arizona State. Third down and long. Fox knocked off his spot and sacks. Jacob Rich-Kengaika with a loss of 9.
Great job up front by this Sun Devils pass rush. We take a look right here. Again, when you're only rushing 4, you're trying to move those bodies around so you get that end tackle game. And a great job contained. When you've got a quarterback that's a threat to break the pocket and make a play, you got to rush upfield and take that option away from him there. As it looks like Anthony Cooper went around, corralled him, and is able to get him down here. We talked about it. This team, third lowest blitz rate in college football. When you got coverage like you've seen in the back end from Abney and pressure like that, it works.
A good pickup, 96, not 98. Cooper with his second sack. ASU coming after that punt. Punter knocked down, but again, no laundry on the field. And it's out of bounds in plus territory. Sims begins.
That's why you keep an eye on this one. BYU fresh off their first loss. Cincinnati coming up here soon. Sometimes strange things happen when you need the board to break your way.
The freshman, Man Robinson, who celebrated a birthday this week with a 6-yard burst. The freshman from Oklahoma City, who did not get any touches on the road in Ames the last time ASU played.
Well, they spoke highly of them, though. Talked about how he hugged a vet. That's what you're supposed to do as a young guy. And Kyson Brown has got great work habits, but hasn't been on the field. Has been showing the young player how to conduct himself. Big-time college football.
To the air this time. And out wide for a first down catch up against the Sun Devil sideline. 10-yard on pickup. Jalen Moss with another grab for ASU.
This offense right now really settled in. Some early down passing. I think going back to the other drive, when they got their first down, get your quarterback involved in the run game went a long way. I think Jeff Sims looks a little calmer now in the pocket as well.
Robinson in the right slot. Motion him at the snap. It was a delayed snap, and that brings the whistles and the flags. Stands to be the first accepted penalty of the day for either team.
Full start. Offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty. First down.
You're high on what Maxi Honachor has done this season for Arizona State.
Yeah, the former high school hooper, real basketball on grass. He's got great feet, fluid athlete, and in that case, I think just kind of the totem for mistiming altogether up front around the snap, as it looked like everybody moved but the center.
Sun Devils seeking their 7th win, trying to stay in the Big 12 championship hunt. Clean pocket here for Sims to drive one. There's a late adjustment to the football, a whistling spiral, arrive low, and it's caught the 19-yard line.
Great adjustment outside because he fell down initially on the route. You're going to watch him right here in the slot. Go out here, and Eusebio slips coming out of the break, gets back up, and just gets that one paw underneath it and reels it in.
A sophomore is a walk-on and a locker room favorite. It's a big catch there. It'll leave 2nd down and 3 in the red zone. Brown steps into the game. High snap, and a now routes. Oh, what a block. Paving the way, Mateer for a Derek Eusebio touchdown. His first goes 19 yards, and it's a 2-score lead for Arizona State.
Boy, an incredible job blocking by Shimon Mateer. We mentioned the problem he poses you down in this area because he's such an adept pass catcher, like you saw on the touchdown. But then right there, willing to go and put it on the line for his teammates. We'll show you after the kick. A great read by Jeff Sims under pressure, looking every bit like the guy who's seen as much college football, calmly responding and dealing to set up another Arizona State touchdown.
And Gomez for another extra point. Oh, he's going to flip it. They pull, they throw, and they score. Cameron Harpole on the receiving end of the 2 points. A Kenny Dillingham special in the 2nd quarter.
JB, you asked me before the game how you feel about the kicker going out here with the hoodie leaking out of the jersey, the swag. If you're going to do that, that's how you drive, that's how you kick, and in this case, that's how you throw. What a great job by Gomez, turning it loose. and earning every bit of that hoodie swag. Great job by the long snapper as well. Direct shot there. No one sees it. Harpole not covered down, and easy money. The tight ends. We mentioned before, Arizona State loves having two tight ends on the field as much as anybody, getting both of them involved. For Harpole, just the second touchdown of the year. And you look, that blitz coming off the left side here. Sims sees it right in his face, knows he's got the outlet to his left-hand side, and then all the job of Mateer going inside to outside, staying in front of him. Hands inside, keeps his body into him, so all of a sudden you're not detached and pulling cloth. And the great catch by Eusebio to set it up on the play before, falling out of his break, and now the move in the open field. Everyone contributed.
Now a booming kickoff will be a touchback, and maybe a shout out to Jack Nudo. Taking the baton from special teams coordinator Charlie Regal, who's got a unique connection to Rich Rodriguez and Kenny Dillingham. He's kind of that connective tissue between these coaches, but Regal's on a medical leave of absence and surely watching from home. Kenny Dillingham calls it at just the right time for a 15-3 lead.
Awesome stuff by Jack Nudo. I grew up out in Scottsdale as a kid. We grew up with the Nudo family, so I've known Jack since I was in kindergarten. And to see the job that he's doing now here at the helm for this Arizona State special teams unit, really incredible stuff.
For a fast start and a dominant first quarter for West Virginia. Now they're on their heels a little bit here. Big possession for Scotty Fox Jr. And what a throw! Jeff Weimer to the house, 75 yards. Fox answers back with a strike.
Well, there's your answer. In a heartbeat, we know this West Virginia offense can go fast, but that may be even more than we were expecting. Weimer, who had a season-high 67 yards receiving against Houston, may have eclipsed it all on that one play.
We've seen the longest offense in now back-to-back weeks for West Virginia. It was Dior Hubbard last week, Weimer this week. That's on them if I'm a lip reader, says Kenny Dillingham.
High-level stuff from JB. Impressed.
Here's Luke Richmond.
Offside. Defense, number 95. After distance to the goal, we'll have the try.
But back to Weimer, who's absorbed most of Jaden Bray's snaps, who suffered a season-ending injury back in week 2 at Ohio. Rich Rodriguez says Jeff is the old vet who can play every wide receiver position in our offense. Keeping West Virginia connected. And a traditional extra point from Cade Hensley within 5.
Lightning strikes for the Mountaineers when they needed it most. Pull it back to within a score. 15-10. Sun Devils take over on offense after the kick when we return.
Sessions, West Virginia needed a response from Scotty Fox Jr.
Big time answer off the play action shot. So you can see the guard pull that way. Grayson at tight end going out here, and then the quick slant behind it. So he's going to pull this backer out towards the side and open up that space before Boogie Wilson can come over the top at safety and get there. Nothing but daylight after the laser from Scotty Fox Jr. And a big time answer from West Virginia when they needed it most.
The longest play of the season for their offense.
There we go.
Nate Flower to boot it away. So far, all fair catches today. This one popped up and taken inside the 20. So a longer field for Jeff Sims. Men's and women's titles are on the line in one of college basketball's biggest events. Coverage of the Geico Players Era Championship begins November 24th. Mountain America Stadium filling in after an 11 a.m. local kickoff. Just tremendous support here in the Valley for these ASU Sun Devils. They saw their home winning streak snap the last time they were here, trying to start a new one today. Sims has hit on 9 straight throws. It's picked up. He throws behind it. And a good gain on first down. How good do these Pat Tillman helmets look, too?
Just incredible. Obviously, the tributes to Pat Tillman that you see all over, most notably at the tunnel coming out to the field. Just a great reminder of one of the all-time Sun Devils, and someone I know who a lot of people think of fresh off Veterans Day.
One-play touchdown from West Virginia. Sims gets it back. Swerving through that left side for a first down. Relief. Brown still churning to the 39.
Got to remind people every once in a while, he's not just all flash and sizzle on the perimeter, puts his head down, gets some tough yards, but you are always waiting. Kind of that live wire that you're always worried about tripping over for someone that can make guys miss on the perimeter, is such a smooth, agile runner and a home run waiting to happen.
Yeah, Zach Alley about him, the defensive coordinator from West Virginia, and said, truthfully, I'd rather the quarterback Sims run it because of how explosive Brown is. The best tailback they've seen this season. Move Sims' launch point. He's drilled as he delivers and just overcooked it a touch. Malik McClain attacking vertically. If Sims had one more beat of protection, he might have nailed it.
And you see right here the rush up front. They add a rusher lately coming downhill. That's Reed Carrico that gets the hit on Sims and maybe forces that one just a bit quick. Great job standing in. Know he's going to take the shot. Just couldn't quite hook up at the deep post.
You probably saw this too, but going back to his career day at Iowa State, the last Big 12 player to rush for 200 and pass for 175, Vince Young in the historic 2006 Rose Bowl. Tried to fit that into a tight window. Mateer, who's already got a touchdown and blocked for another, could not hang on in front of Chase Wilson. And so it's third down in the full chains.
To that last point, JB, we knew we were there calling the game, that we were seeing something pretty special, especially given Sims' story overall. But when you see it crystallized like that, mentioned alongside someone like Vince Young in a game so many of us remember, just really such a reminder of what an outstanding day that was for this young man.
Mountaineers likely coming after him here. Third down and 10. Before attack, he throws beneath the sticks, and Mateer wrapped up. And Darian Lewis gets there. And so West Virginia gets an explosive one-play 75-yard touchdown, and then they back it up with a stop on defense. They're going to get it back down 5.
Credit to Zach Alley. You mentioned his name a couple of times, but it gave the veteran a lot to look at there. All up looks, dropping guys out in coverage, bringing linebackers late to disrupt and hit the quarterback. Did a good job knocking them out of rhythm and forcing the punt.
Issues going back to Canyon Floyd for this one. Fox deep to receive. It's a missile that just scoots into the end zone. So a 75-yard touchdown, a stop, and the football back for the Mountaineers with just under 6 minutes to go before the half. And we'll point out that they won the toss, elected to defer their choice in the second half as well on the road here.
That middle eight always hugely important, and that's quite honestly an area where Arizona State has had so much success. You look back since the start of last season, have outscored opponents 120-50 in the last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 of the second half. We're not quite at that threshold yet, but by the end of this drive, certainly could be with that in mind on the other end of the second half kick.
Fox with a blitz from that right corner. Hits a U-turn and picks up 2. Has a week gone by where we've not mentioned the middle eight? Is that kind of becoming a TNT Sports bingo card moment?
We like to hit all the cliches that we can in the broadcast.
There is a flag down.
Got to minimize turnovers and penalties as well. Play clean football. We'll find a gym rat before the game's over. We got it all for you guys.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 0, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
They caught Rodney
Number 4,
Bimage Jr.
Stay in the game for West Virginia due to the foul.
15 yards downfield.
The helmet to come off.
Spelling Javen Robinson out on the perimeter. See him locked up, Cam Vaughn getting after him in the blocking game there, and just sort of a frustration moment as he's getting driven back off the ball.
This is Scotty Fox. Crunched right at the line. Ghost Rouser had it read, the senior from Detroit. He came on like a freight train in that second half in Ames.
Ryan Ward said against this spread option attack, he's going to be that free hitter at times. He's going to be down near the box and have opportunities like that to try and stymie them for little or no gain.
No gain there, 2nd and 10, sprint roll, and a sack. Keyshawn Elliott had Scotty Fox Jr. roll right to him.
The heartbeat of this defense. As you see right here, scraping over the top, it just gets upfield in this field of vision. The freshman pats the ball a little too long, still working through some freshman moments. And Keyshawn Elliott, 10+ tackles 4 different times this season, leads him in tackles for loss.
Now 5 sacks as well. Fox a long wait. Now the pressure arrives. And he heaves it out of bounds. It's 4th and long. They'll punt with 4:36 to go before the half left for Sims and ASU.
3rd and a mile there, but you saw the great coverage again for Arizona State. We mentioned before, average of 2.67 seconds to pressure by this group up front. 5th longest in college football means you got to have a secondary that's able to hold on, stick with it, especially when the quarterback breaks contain like that and starts the scramble drill. Great job by the group up front on contain. Great job by the back end holding firm.
Fox still furious with how that sack ended up on 2nd down. Got an earful from Rich Rodriguez as well. Mountaineers' last punt was only 26 yards. This one from Oliver Straw is corralled at the 31. Zechariah Sample on that return for Arizona State. Did we ever figure out where the pink in the jersey came from a couple weeks ago from Sims?
They had about every color in the rainbow and a couple of different ones added to that jersey that's now part of the ASU Hall of Fame after that historic performance. That jersey looks like this stat, JB. He averages 4.2 yards per rush after contact. He's grinding through initial tacklers. He's making guys make business decisions in the open field. Just an outstanding effort from a veteran. Like you said, chose to stay here and is getting the payoff now.
400 yards of total offense, 3 touchdowns that day. And his 2nd consecutive start, this one at home finally. High snap that he's able to feed to Raleek Brown. ASU looking for more of that Raleek Brown explosiveness, hoping to bring his touch count down and see more pop from their junior running back. He was the only running back to get a touch in that game alongside Sims.
And when you're seeing the effect of all those cumulative blows work in the bye week, it comes at the right time for everyone, trying to get them a little bit of time off their feet. But I think we're going to have to see more bodies spelled in the backfield and more QB run here soon.
But a tight end in the backfield here. Taylor, left of Sims. That's where he runs. Hits the crease and is close to a new 1st down. First glance appears to be 3rd and short. Got 6 of the 7 he needed.
So you got the lead blocker up here, and then Sims going to do a great job of just seeing the seam following Josh Atkins' left tackle up to the 2nd level. And some of those perimeter runs, we see so many of them at times with Sims up the middle, so an easy way as we get a little lonesome polecat out here.
I'm sorry, what's that you say?
It's my high school football coach called it, the lonesome polecat. No clue why.
Looking for a yard. On the toss, 3rd down, Raleek Brown moves the chains. Tackled on the pitchfork with a gain of 6.
You have a versatile Shimon Mateer. You see student body right over on this side. No wonder where the ball's going. Great job by Raleek Brown just putting a foot in the ground. Sometimes you got to be masters of the obvious, and with that many guys over to one side, they did just that.
A couple of mouthpieces, neither one of them protecting his teeth as he crosses midfield and into West Virginia territory. I mentioned that just to get West Virginia head coach's comments in. Rich Rodriguez had a few things to say about that look this week. Talk about his own players, not Arizona State.
Yeah, no, decidedly old school, Rich Rodriguez, in terms of all the different mouthpieces. You're not even wearing one. TikTok. He's a gem.
Sims with 2nd down from the pistol. Able to spot a receiver, and Sabio's been busy. He's got a 19-yard touchdown already in this half. And a new set of downs at the 33, a catch and run of 14 yards.
That's the difficulty with a lot of this pressure. You see Fred Perry having to work his way back over to the middle, leaves a void. Eusebio just sits down in the zone, and his quarterback makes a great decision.
The 2-minute timeout.
5-point lead and the football with 2 minutes to go before the break. And as we head to the 2-minute timeout, it's presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card.
I am not one for the mountains anymore. I got my incline in at the hotel weight room. My hot girl walk.
Final 2 minutes of our opening half. Sims sits in the pocket. Now escapes. Out on the edge. Flings one. Out of bounds. And a big first half for Eusebio, but that's way outside his catch radius. And it's 2nd and 10.
Sims hanging on in the pocket. Makuapule on the right, making pass protection anything but passive. Frustrated Sims right there, but still plenty of time. 2 timeouts in your pocket. You're in plus territory. It's likely 4 downs in this range, so no reason to sound the alarm just yet.
Malik Brown in motion to the #1 position left of Sims, who's alone in the gun. Mountaineers send forward. There's time to rip the seam. Oh, they nearly housed it.
What a ball by Sims. I thought he might have had an easier completion underneath. He's trying to go for the home run there, just out of reach.
6'5" Malik McLean had hands on it.
And that's when you got to haul that in. It's in a great spot right over the top of 2 defenders. I mean, you really can't do much better than that for Jeff Sims.
So again, in no man's land, do they have 2 plays to get 10 yards here? Mountaineers blitz. Oh, right behind it. It's Malik Brown. Next stop, Sky Harbor. West Virginia brought the kitchen sink, and Jeff Sims found Malik Brown for a 33-yard score.
The human disco ball is happy, and so is Kenny Dillingham. You can see why Zach Alley on the other side wanted to see as few touches for Malik Brown as possible, because that explosive potential always on the other side. You saw that full house blitz, and that means someone's one-on-one with Malik Brown, and that's advantage Sun Devils.
Let's make sure they kick it here at the direct snap to Gomez for a 2-point conversion last time in this position. Just an ordinary left-footed extra point here for a 22-10 lead.
So you got him right here. It's going to end up being that Texas route. Start outside and then put the linebacker, in that case, the bandit, Braden Siders, who is kind of in that hybrid role, but certainly out of position, having to try and drop back and cover a guy like that when you're getting ready to pin your ears back and go forward. A great play call against an all-out blitz. And Sims, that big body, absorbing the hit from Fred Perry with ease. No one on the other side of it. Get to strike up the band. And the ump cam right across the middle. There he is. And there he goes.
The first receiving touchdown, 4th of the season for Malik Brown. The Sun Devils hamming it up after rallying from down a field goal at the end of 1. For Sims, he's got 3 first-half passing touchdowns. The 23-year-old 6th-year senior has his 4th career 3-touchdown performance. Preston Fox deep to receive for West Virginia, staring up into the afternoon sunlight. This one out the back of the end zone.
About Malik Brown, you see the all-purpose numbers there. 41 targets on the season coming into this game, 3rd most among FBS running backs, and the 2nd best all-purpose performer behind Jacoby Williams at Texas Tech. By land, by sea, by sky, however you want it, that man's got it.
Knocking out some push-ups with a 22-10 lead, but West Virginia has more than enough time with 1:41 and 3 timeouts, knowing they will also receive the second-half kickoff. Scotty Fox Jr.'s already got a lightning strike 75-yard touchdown today. He's Dior Hubbard for a drive starter here.
And the last time we saw Scotty Fox Jr. coming off the field frustrated, right? Him and Rich Rod, the heated exchange. Young player has got to show the ability to calm down and come out here and execute the 2-minute offense.
Quick release, Dior Hubbard spinning off the first hit, planted by the second defender. 2.5 left on third down. Jordan Crook with the stop, and we stop the clock with the first timeout by Arizona State on defense. I had a sense that Kenny Dillingham wanted more. It's his second timeout, putting the pressure on West Virginia to pick up this 3rd and 2.
Talk about swinging that middle 8. This is exactly the kind of game management you want to see.
Thank you.
But give your guys a shot for that. You feel that pressure mounting on that 3rd down now for the offense of West Virginia. After the big play, can they respond and manufacture another one like that against the Arizona State secondary that's been stingy so far today?
You know, Mike, last week, you might remember Scotty Fox threw those picks on back-to-back third-quarter passes. His first turnovers as a starter. We talked with Rich Rodriguez about how he responded to those in victory. And Rich Rod said that Scotty is so conscientious. He wants to clean up every mistake that he actually has to be careful with how much to give him and when. I wonder if that was the right dose there on the most recent sideline exchange you referenced. Let's call this 3rd down and 3. ASU just spent a timeout on defense. Fox fakes the run, gets it out to Weimer, who drops it, and that's a free timeout for Arizona State. Assuming West Virginia punts here.
Easy access throw on the outside. All that cushion by Abney that you see right here. And put in the air. I mean, for your quarterback in that spot, you want it to either be a no-doubter, and to me, that's on Weimer on the outside. You got to reel that in if your coach is going to try and give you the attempt for the shot.
Oliver Straw runs with it for a few steps and puts it in the air. Catch interference there as the Mountaineers pounce on it, but a flag down. Zechariah Sample, the freshman, was the deep man, and Rich Rodriguez in disbelief again. 63 seconds left in the half.
And just easy, can't quite put the brakes on here. Runs right into Sample. And a dangerous stretch of territory right here for West Virginia. Questionable 3rd down play call, and now this.
Interference with the opportunity to catch the kick. Kicking team, number 20. 15-yard penalty. First down, Arizona State.
Sophomore Keyshawn Robinson. So really best case scenario there for Arizona State. You spend a timeout on defense to see if West Virginia can convert on 3rd. Not only do the Mountaineers fail, but they do so with an incompletion to stop the clock. And now a foul on the punt sets up Sims and the Sun Devils at their own 35-yard line.
And again, an ideal world on that play for Scotty Fox Jr. You probably tuck it and run it, right? The shot play you're trying to set up isn't there. Keep the clock moving, and instead, great opportunity for Arizona State.
Blitz again. Sims this time disruptive as he tried to link up with McClain. Sims now 14 of 20 on the day for 174 passing and 3 touchdowns.
Seen him close on a couple of those downfield heaves on the prior drive. I'm sure they're going to give him a couple more chances to impact this game.
Sims takes off heat. Swallowing through that second level. He's tripped up on the 38. 1 timeout left for the Sun Devils. There's an injured Mountaineer, which will stop the clock for now. Ben Bogle, who had 2 of West Virginia's 7 sacks of Juju Lewis in Colorado last
for
week.
defensive injury.
He didn't get in until this summer for West Virginia, and Zach Alley, the defensive coordinator, telling us that he's really worked hard to overcome that disadvantage. Now has enough reps in their system to not only play, but play quickly and fast and confident. If ASU can get this 3rd down and 7, that could be a big piece missing from the middle of the Mountaineers defense.
Just going to say, a drive after we saw them hit Raleek Brown for that touchdown out of the backfield.
Decline is a 10-second runoff. The game clock will start on the snap.
So, see him go down right there, and Not sure what happened. He's got clipped over the top. I honestly thought Kyle Scott, the offensive guard, cut over there, got his legs taken out, might have been at more risk. Certainly hope they can get them back out there, and ASU elects for the 10-second runoff to keep that timeout in their pocket here on 3rd and 7.
Yes, the announcement was that the clock will run again on the snap after that runoff. Weak ground, flipping to the left hip of Sims. 5-man rush, he deals. Plain coverage, no flags down. It's incomplete, it's 4th down. Fred Perry with his back to the quarterback, able to get the pass break up.
Fred Perry, the most impact defender on this team. Man-to-man in the slot and just sticks with him the whole way. Both of them hand fighting at the receiver, doesn't come back forcefully enough to draw the pass interference penalty. I think it's a good no call and a great play by Fred Perry, who's another guy along with, Chase Wilson at linebacker, is really the heartbeat of this defense.
Pass intended for Kamari Anderson, a former 4-star recruit. Canyon Floyd boots it away. Spiral. It comes down in the arms of Fox at the 22.
Great answer by West Virginia's defense to avoid disaster there after the offense has to punt, gets the penalty, puts them in disadvantaged territory. This is what we see time and time again in college football. 39 seconds left. All 3 of your timeouts if you're West Virginia. But more than likely with the field position and the way things have gone, you're going to see them try and pop a run here on 1st down. And if you get a big enough gain, maybe you spring into action and try and make something happen. And if not, you ride it out knowing you're going to get the ball to start the 2nd half.
Fox 7 of 13 through the air. Gives to Bowers here. Sun Devils stack it up. And that's likely all she wrote here in the opening half. One that began with such promise for West Virginia. A couple of great stops on defense. A field goal lead. But then ASU scored 15 straight. For the only touchdown of the half for Rich Rodriguez. It was 75 yards from Scotty Fox Jr. to Jeff Weimer. And again, they have the option to receive the 2nd half kick. ASU, meantime, has won 14 games in a row and leading at the half. Most in the Big 12 behind West Virginia, for what it's worth. 22-10 at the break. The Sun Devils seeking a 7th win and trying to keep their Big 12 championship hopes alive.
That's the end of the 1st half.
Separated by a dozen at the half in the desert. You're watching Big 12 football on TNT Sports, presented by Modelo.
What an opportunity! This is gonna be hard!
And what a throw! Jeff Weimer to the house, 75 yards. To the flats, Mateer, touchdown. Oh, what a block. Paving the way, Mateer, for a Derek Eusebio touchdown. Oh, right behind it, it's Raleek Brown. Next stop, Sky Harbor. All right, back at homecoming weekend here in Tempe, and we check out game summary presented by Geico before we kick off the 2nd half with the Sun Devils leading West Virginia 22-10 and looking to keep their Big 12 championship hopes alive. After a sluggish start, they've rallied for the lead. Back upstairs with Mike Golick Jr., J.B. Long III. And we began the day talking about Jeff Sims setting a rushing record. So, of course, he passes for 3 touchdowns in that 1st half.
And they let him pass it. 14 of 21 in the 1st half, putting it through the air. And I think it was his response to pressure where you saw the veteran status there on the zone read, involving himself in the run in a way that's helped settle down this entire offense. But again, getting the ball out to his perimeter playmakers, seeing the is coming from the Zach Alley defense that has to work overtime to apply this pressure. I think he has shown you the benefit of not only all the years he's played in college football, but the consistency of being in this system, having the same play caller year over year, and being able to put all those gifts on display after a banner performance the last time we saw him against Iowa State.
And the rare day where they are rooting for their rival, the Arizona Wildcats, winning on the road in Cincinnati. That's a result that would help them get back to the Big 12 championship potentially if they handle their business. Adds magnitude to this 2nd session against West Virginia. Mountaineers won the coin toss, elected to defer, so they'll take the football here in what feels like a must-score drive to begin the third quarter. Fox will not get a chance. Tell us, how important is this first drive for Rich Rodriguez and company?
We mentioned it prior. Since the start of 2024, Arizona State 120-50, swinging the middle eight, last four of the first half, first four of the second half. So a chance to come out of the halftime locker room and immediately put points on the board, get your offense back working at a high level like you came out the gate, paramount for this team.
Scotty Fox Jr., 7 of 13 passing, 135, most of which came on that touchdown pass to Weimer. They've only rushed for 46 so far today. That's where they start, picking his way up the middle. Sincere Bowers as we send it down to Coy.
Yeah, I talked to Coach Kenny Dillingham for the Sun Devils. He says we're having some great success with our quarterback. Career day for Jeff Sims, and it's only the first half. He has 3 touchdowns, but they have to eliminate the big play. Rich Rodriguez for the Mountaineers, he says we've had some big plays. Now we have to eliminate the negative ones. If we can stay ahead of the sticks, we have a chance to make a comeback in this game. One other note, I talked to star running back Malik Brown, who has 1 receiving touchdowns so far this game. He says he has 2 more in him, both rushing. We'll see.
Wow, okay, what a prediction for this second half as Jordan Crook knocks Sincere Bowers off his cleats, setting up 3rd and 3.
Between Rich Rod before, Raleek there, these guys doing my job for me. It's great.
Critical 3rd down here to begin the second half for Scotty Fox Jr. and the West Virginia Mountaineers. Perhaps adjusting his play at the line of scrimmage. Plenty on his play clock. A ball fake. Hit as he delivers. In space, caught. Cam Vaughn with a flag down as he goes out of bounds inside the 30 of Arizona State. Run out by Abney. And let's see if the play stands. For now, it's a 42-yard gain on 3rd and 3.
Holding. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
They catch Montana Warren in the explosive stance.
Trying to hold on for dear life. You're going to see the matchup out here, and the double move at the top sells the slant, puts his foot in the ground to go back outside, and that's where you see a little bit grabbing. Montana Warren on the inside there, but Abney just trying to keep pacing. But what a great ball from Scotty Fox Jr. on that, dropping it in the bucket over the top.
A timely report from Coy Wire as well, saying that Arizona State was laser focused on shutting down the explosives, and West Virginia hits one. Now nearly intercepted. They wanted Weimer on the slants. Montana Warren looking to make amends in a hurry.
Great job reading the eyes of Scotty Fox Jr. on that play. Wants to throw the now slant on the left side. He tracks the eyes the whole way, and whew, right through his hands. That should have been an interception. Could have been a huge play. You talk about limiting the splash plays, making one of your own on defense. Could have gone a long way.
West Virginia down 2 scores. They get a reprieve. Jacob Barrett fumbles. And able to get it back. So on back-to-back plays, as Keith Abney jars this one loose, West Virginia dodges disaster.
Just a quick RPO with the tight end dart in the flat, and then puts that shoulder, does Abney right into the football. Just a heads-up play by Barrett to get it back. But back-to-back plays where it looked like the ball could have been going the other way. West Virginia flirting with danger right now. 2 tight ends on the field as they get big. 3 tight ends,
including Curtis Jones Jr., who takes the handoff. Good removal up front as the West Virginia offensive line fires off. Penalty marker down, and it's down at the goal line on the near side of the field.
Legal substitution. Defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Cleaning up penalties, such a focus for Kenny Dillingham. And for the better part of this game, they've done exactly that.
It's where the pace, the substitutions all challenge you.
Penalty for illegal substitution has been declined. It'll be second down.
They declined that penalty here, so 2nd and short off first down run. But 3 tight ends on the left side, your big back in the backfield. He ran right up that escort from the big bodies on the left side of that line.
Curtis Jones Jr. staying on the field. His father played wide receiver for Marshall, and he caught passes from future NFL quarterbacks Chad Pennington and Byron Leftwich. His son rushed for over 3,000 yards and 46 touchdowns in his final 2 years of high school in Huntington, West Virginia.
Correction. West Virginia will take the legal substitution penalty. Be 1st and 5.
So opting for the extra down over the extra 2 or so yards on that play. Good math, especially down here in the red zone. Talked about how imperative this drive, ending with points, but ideally ending in the end zone. This tight end group doesn't have a touchdown reception among it, but down here with all the threat of run you've established, you wonder if you can get these guys open.
Sincere Bowers to the corner and couldn't turn it. Tripped up inside the 10. Montana Warren's been busy on this drive. Jordan Crook in the mix as well. And so in the end, it's kind of a moot point on that penalty. It'll be 2nd down and short in the tight red area now.
Full house in the backfield.
Give Bowers a chance. Stacked up in the middle. A yard still to go on 3rd down.
Look at this game so far. Scotty Fox Jr. factoring in sacks, only 6 yards net right now rushing. This is an area where I know Curtis Jones is in the backfield, but maybe to put him to work as a blocker and try and get +1 with your quarterback, whose legs have been huge for you on money downs.
Instead, they give to Jones, and he piles ahead close to the line to gain. The initial mark is short. Jacob Rich-Kangaika clogging up the running lanes here. It is 4th down.
No-brainer, go territory. 4th and 1. A big back in Curtis Jones, who we watched last week in Morgantown, rumble for a yard almost at will, especially down here near the goal line. Looks like it's setting up to be another handoff.
West Virginia failed on its first 4th down try. This one rumbles over the right side in the arms of Curtis Jones Jr. And the drive is alive for the Mountaineers. C.J. Fite kept it out of the end zone.
Both tight ends in the backfield trying to take those linebackers over to the left side, motioning to secure the perimeter, but Curtis Jones does a great job putting his head down. Him staying on the field out here, you wonder if it's not 2 or 3 more handoffs to him and just let him bust down the door himself.
As you see, 10th play of the drive, they will stick with it. I don't know if you saw, but that keeper on the backside looked open for Scotty Fox Jr. I wonder if they go to that next.
I'd imagine Rich Rod is going to be in the headset for his young quarterback, and what an asset, by the way, being able to talk to a true freshman until 15 seconds are left on that play clock and reminding him, hey, they're crashing down right now, selling out to stop your big bandit turn running back. Don't be afraid to keep this and take it around the edge.
2nd and goal. 11th play. Fox lost his receiver and nearly lost possession. Rouser had fingertips on the football as one of those tight ends released to the end zone and lost his cleats.
We mentioned no receiving tight end touchdowns on the season for the tight end group, and just gets caught in all that trash there. And Rouser was going to have the studio crew talking after the game if he had pulled that one down.
3rd down and goal. Some misdirection. Fox still has it. Buried on the 2. Keyshawn Elliott keeps it out of the end zone, makes Fox snap it again.
This scenario, given the disparity of the game, and just watch, it's the usual subject. Boogie Wilson, Keyshawn Elliott, Jordan Crooks tracking from the backside, all the veterans with the discipline. And I like this decision to go. You got them backed up. Even if you go for it and miss, Arizona State would have to dig themselves out of the shadow of their own end zone. I think this is the right call.
Late substitution onto the field for West Virginia, and now they sprint Jones off again. Clock getting short, and Rich Rod has no choice but to squander a timeout on offense.
West Virginia. This is the first
This is
of the
one
half.
that you have to get right.
It'll be a 30-second timeout.
You do that late substitution, and Rich Rod could see it puts them in jeopardy. Arizona State, Brian Ward, the defensive coordinator, seemed already getting set to play the substitution game, jog a couple of guys out slow, and potentially back them up there. And so we saw handoffs to Curtis Jones. Didn't work. Defense held up. You tried the misdirection with your quarterback. You tried to pop pass to the tight end. So you've exhausted some of the usual options down in this area of the field. Wonder if you just go back to keeping it simple. Scotty Fox Jr. has always been comfortable on money downs. When you spread him out, go 5 wide, give him an easy amount of space to try and see the picture on defense. And then if all else fails, he does have the ability to call his own number in the scramble drill and maybe get across the goal line that way.
So you're calling a design pass, but you're telling him to be quick between his ears.
Yes.
If he needs to take off and go for his own.
I think you try and give him a couple of quick slants, something, and if it's not there right away, then all of a sudden you start to break contain and see if you can make magic happen with some extracurricular activity.
This is the opening possession of the second half. And Rich Rodriguez, after the timeout, will settle on Dior Hubbard, the freshman tailback, offset rights. Vaughn and Weimer are the receivers. A tight end to each side. And now Kenny Dillingham spending a timeout on defense.
Charge timeout. Arizona State. First of the half. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
I don't know that we can accentuate how critical this 4th and goal is any more than both head coaches spending a timeout before the rep.
If the D looking out there, and I think seeing that they're one short right now, and you saw over on the sideline, Montana Warren and Kendrick Breedlove both kind of looking at each other. Wonder if someone was confused on who was supposed to be there. Boy, you think this matters to Rich Rodriguez a little bit? He's talked to us about the fiery competitor that he is. Everything he does, whether it's the pickleball court or coaching the Mountaineers for a second stint here, you can see that passion.
Do you think he wanted his quarterback to just seize the moment, maybe sense that he was one up and take that snap as quickly as possible?
I think so. I think Rich Rod saw it before his young quarterback did. And again, you can communicate with till 15 seconds are left in the play clock, but after that, young guy's on his own and just doesn't have a lot of reps seeing that stuff. Whereas, you know, we see on Sundays, these high-level quarterbacks see that mismatch, see they've got a numbers advantage, and they're up to the line making things happen.
Scotty Fox Jr. making his 5th consecutive start. He has helped turn this West Virginia season around. He's got 6 passing touchdowns on the season, 3 rushing. 4th down and goal. He gives. It's Curtis Jones Jr. And he did not get there. Elijah O'Neal kept him out of the end zone.
The ruling on the field is a runner short of the goal line. It'll be first down, Arizona State.
It's Sun Devil football. For the 2nd time today, they turn it over on downs in the red zone.
Phenomenal effort by the Sun Devil defense. Sure, we'll get another look at this touchdown. Just short. Sun Devils in the 3rd quarter. As you see this 4th down run by Curtis Jones at the goal line. It looked like he was getting ready to reach, and actually his run is offensive lineman Tykees Crawford, who you're going to see right here, getting set to try and help pull him across the goal line, and ends up getting in the way so he can't extend the football out. And you look down the line right here, you're looking for that elbow that touches down right here. Right here. Before he can extend it across. So good job by the officials seeing that in real time. Great job by that Arizona State defense bowing up against the big bandit turn back.
2nd red zone takeaway on downs today for this ASU defense. And now Jeff Sims sneaking through some breathing room. Mike, I know that as a former offensive lineman yourself, you practice these situations every week. What's the key to getting out of your own end?
It is not pretty. It's get low and dig them out. You've got to want it more. And having a quarterback that's as much of a hammer as Jeff Sims, such an advantage. So if you're the center, the first thing you're thinking about as Wade Helton is, I need to get the ball under center, securely back to my quarterback, create a lane somewhere.
Drop back into the pistol with Malik Brown behind Sims. 2nd down. Keeper game. Sims to the perimeter. And he's got a 1st down. Sims featured more as a passer today, but he still has this club in his bag when they have to have it.
To have someone as physically imposing downhill who can also erase angles like this on the perimeter. You see Darian Lewis coming from the 2nd level and just can't quite time it up because Jeff Sims is just so darn fast for also being 6'4", 220.
New set of downs. Malik Brown stays in the backfield. He'll take the handoff. Ran into Fred Perry. Finishes at the 19.
You wonder if this is the attitude drive loading up for Arizona State. Go all the way back to Mississippi State on the road. When they needed it most, they battened down the hatches, they got in too tights, and they ran the ball downhill at you. And that seems to be where they're coming at with this drive. Even Malik Brown, as we see the ump cam here right now, there wasn't a lot of putting his foot in the ground or dancing. That was one cut, get up field, and churn out tough yards to keep you ahead of schedule.
Take half the chains on that first down run. On the give, a flag comes in from the back judge as Reed Carrico makes the tackle. And now a second flag perhaps with some extracurriculars. Home crowd reacting.
I think we might have to get Jaron Hamilton's Oscar ready on that one late. I don't know.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 5, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Right, so it's West Virginia's tackling leader, Fred Perry, guilty of the foul. First down, ASU.
Tough one again against a dynamic runner like we've talked about with Malik Brown, trying to take him down when he gets in space. That run, you saw him put his foot in the ground, cut back a little bit, and at times just reaching out can get in a little bit of trouble. And then clearly the officials saw the flop at the end of the play and decided not to throw the flag on that.
A fourth down stop inside the 1. This is the comeback drive. Malik Brown and the Sun Devils, well defended by Zach Alley and the Mountaineers. And now there is a flag after the whistle.
The suplex by Fred Perry, you just can't have it. I understand the emotions are running hot, but everyone knows at this point that's a penalty in college football when you've got him lifted like that.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 5, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So 30 yards of penalties there against the best defender that West Virginia has.
And again, I have sympathy for the face mask penalties at the point of attack, combat penalties when you're in the mix. But this one, you've got time to know you've got him lifted, forward progress is stopped. And referees call this every weekend across college football and the NFL. It's inexcusable in that case from a leader of your defense.
So out from inside their own 1-yard line, and now into Mountaineers territory. Dillingham and Marcus Arroyo, they have the luxury of being stubborn with that running game, Mike, as you alluded to. A potential statement drive here with a 22-10 lead.
Hasn't been a single pass attempt on this drive so far that started inside the shadow of their own end zone. This is where you challenge your group on the sideline. Say, we're going to put it on you. We know we've had some turnover in the middle of this group offensively, but this group believes now gelling together. They've got a group of guys that can clear space.
Big 12 leaders in time of possession have the game under control. There is the first play of this drive. It's below the 40, leaving third down and short. Kamari Anderson, his first season in Tempe after a couple at Kentucky, a former 4-star recruit, has his 4th grab as a Sun Devil. It's good for 5 yards. Perry's back on, as you see. In this 4-down fringe area, look who's behind center. It's the 6'4", 255-pound tight end, Shimon Mateer, with a direct snap. Waits for his blocks, piles over the right side, is short. It's 4th down. Corey McIntyre Jr. the hit.
Great patience by Mateer. Look at him wait for the block to clear. Braden Siders does a great job setting the edge from the bandit spot, but almost over pursues it. And so Mateer tries to go around. 4th and short here, and that was great from Mateer, but if I'm Kenny Dillingham, Marcus Arroyo, it's Jeff Sims territory right now. You need 4th and a centimeter.
8 plays ago, the ASU defense got a 4th down stop on the doorstep. Now the offense, with less than 5 minutes to go in the 3rd, is set to go for 4th and 1. And a timeout on defense spent by Rich Rodriguez. You can see the frustration. So tough to lose that second timeout when you're in the trail position. We're all 4-2 in conference, hosting the West Virginia Mountaineers, who arrive with a 2-game winning streak. West Virginia needs to win this one, and at home in the finale against Texas Tech to be bowl eligible. Sims ready for fourth down with a sneak. Didn't get the snap cleanly. And West Virginia comes away with the football. It's theirs either way on a fourth down stop, and they stay in this game. Devin Grant, the senior defensive lineman, stood it up. Fred Perry comes away victorious. And after West Virginia failed on fourth down inside the 1, the defense gets the football back.
And we'll see on the replay, it just looked like Jeff Sims never quite had this. We talked about this, Paramount under center down by the goal line, and the same thing here. That ball hits the look like the backhand and drops straight to the ground. Kanye Udo tries to jump on it, and Fred Perry just rips that thing out of there. A drive where Fred Perry had 2 back-breaking penalties that helped get Arizona State across midfield, ends up coming up with at least part of that play off the botched snap. And hard to tell who that really falls under, whether it's the quarterback or the center. Usually that ball hits the top and falls back down. It's on the quarterback. The ball squirts out one way or the other, but you're trying to go forward, make a really tough block. Your Sims trying to get your feet underneath you. It's just a tough thing that in a lot of these shotgun offenses, you don't rep a ton.
So dueling fourth down stands. Sincere Bowers couldn't get through that crease. They did not allow the return yardage for what it's worth on that fumble recovery, so back to the spot of the fourth down failure. That's where West Virginia begins, and unfortunately for the Mountaineers, their best, most productive drives today in terms of yardage have only put together 3 points. Their touchdown came on a one-play explosive of 75 yards. Off the play fake. Well, you can see the arm talent of Fox there. That was a fastball to Barnes, and he couldn't handle it. With Rouser in coverage, and it's quickly to 3rd down and 8.
Rouser just all over Grayson Barnes, and I misspoke earlier. I want to give these guys the credit they deserve. Grayson Barnes in that tight end room, 3 touchdowns on the season. I can't read my board right. Those guys doing a phenomenal job. I'm going to have to yet again here on 3rd down.
Fox at the top of his drop, swings it out. Sincere Bowers cut down in the flats. Rodney Bimich Jr. made the hit, but he's still down, and Kenny Dillingham
For an injured player of the
is
defense.
calling for medical support. Since we've been away, he's been able to move his extremities as he's attended to by the medical responders here in Tempe. We'll give you one look at a replay on the play in which he was injured, making this 3rd down tackle.
See him coming in one-on-one and head off to the side. Just gets twisted there on the tackle attempt, but like you said, the most important thing we've seen, arms and legs moving during this. Incredible response by the medical team here, getting out quickly.
Coy, would you like to add?
Yeah, I'm just down here on the sideline, and you can hear a pin drop in this stadium right now. All the fans in the stands on their feet, just watching, hoping, praying that Bimich is okay. He was lying face down at first. The medical staff and trainers were there just as quickly as they could possibly be, and they did flip him over, keeping his head stable. They did not remove his helmet, indicative of a potential spinal cord injury. He is moving, and it looks like he's getting up now, which is a great sign. His teammates there cheering. Some of them have tears in their eyes, but now you can hear this crowd really picking up. Very encouraging sign for Bimich as he's now sitting up on his own, his teammates running over to give him comfort and support, rallying around their teammate.
Rodney's in his 2nd season as a Sun Devil. He preserved his red shirt by playing in 5 games last year, 3 in the regular season, and then both postseason contests. He's very highly regarded. They see him as maybe their starting corner of the future, a former 3-star recruit.
That response from the bench, from this crowd, though, just so great for these guys to see him walking off, even assisted right now after what they saw on that hit. Anytime as a player you see the backboard come out, you start to think about the worst. And this Arizona State team was on the sideline on the road in Ames when this happened to an opposing player at Iowa State. And we were there on the call for that game, similar circumstance. The stadium's dead silent. You're so worried if you're a guy on that team about your brother that you go to work with every day, that you've seen all the work with. But even as a fellow competitor, you all know the risks that you take on every time you strap it up and come out here. And it's a sobering reminder at times. And even as you get set to go now, they're going to take the neck board off the field. They're going to drive the injury card. He's going to walk off, and they're going to blow the whistle, and you're going to have to reset and try and get yourself back into that mentality. So I can't say enough about what a lift that had to be just to see him get up off the ground on his own.
Ben Bramer, the tight end for Iowa State that you're referencing, thankfully we were able to get a positive update from the hospital by the end of that game. And in fact, he returned to action the following week with a touchdown in a Cyclones victory.
It's so incredible to hear that news about him. You and I were both texting when we saw him score that touchdown, and hopefully we get to do something similar about Rodney Bimage in the future here as we wish him well as he gets tended to now. And now these guys do have the unenviable task of having to get ready for that next snap and try and go out here on a 4th down punt attempt by West Virginia.
And so far it's been a scoreless third quarter, 2 possessions, 1 for each team. Both failed on 4th down, setting up this West Virginia drive, which went nowhere, and now they'll punt. Oliver Straw in formation. Zechariah Sample will not get a chance. This is a shank, and it'll be great starting field position as Straw is injured on that punt.
Oh, hate to see that. Walking over to the sideline, pulling at his toe, hoping that's just a cramp. Looked like he was trying to stretch out that calf. Could be that follow through. Even though the temperature hasn't been too extreme today, it's the desert out here. It's dry, you're coming in.
It's a 22-yard punt. And so the Sun Devils start at their 40-yard line, looking to extend a 12-point lead. Sims throws down the line. Eusebio trapped for a loss. Coy?
Yeah, we mentioned this being a hot day down here on this field. And look, this is a team who's had 5 straight games, no rest. They traveled across the country to get here. They flew in last night. And this desert air, it can creep up on you. And we had talked about this in our production meetings, guys, where as this game went on, it would be interesting to see how the Mountaineers would be able to fare, being able to persevere the challenges of the travel of this heat today. Let's hope that punter there is okay and maybe just a cramp and get some electrolytes in him.
2nd down and long. Sims takes a look. He drives one middle. That's caught in the Mountaineers territory. Derek Eusebio is having a career day, 17 and a new 1st down.
And Jeff Sims just continues to use the information to his advantage. You see Eusebio in the slot right here, and he goes and he actually makes it to that second window. Sims is looking right initially, comes back over once he gets to the middle of the field. You have Mateer lined up at the right side, all the way at the receiver spot. And when a cornerback ran with him, Sims knew it was zone and knew he just had to wait his time.
Down in plus territory, they go back to the running game. West Virginia's been very stout against it, especially the design runs so far today. ASU just now over 100 yards rushing. Edward Vesterinen still holding that point of attack. Edward did his military service back in Finland and decided he wanted to play football, so he traveled to the U.S. with an exhibition team to get some of his film out there in this opportunity with West Virginia. On hold, motion man, the tight end. Sims whirls around to deal and runs into trouble. Now at the sideline, will get out of bounds with a loss of yardage and a late hit. No laundry in the air yet. West Virginia gets away with it for now.
Maury Robinson, the one trying to track him down over on the sideline. Let's see here. And yeah, there was no forceful contact right there. All the way out. Always tough if you're the quarterback getting to that tarp over on the sideline where sometimes it can be a little slick in the cleats. But Jamar Robinson, who had to sit out the first 3 games of this year as some eligibility issues were in question, he's a guy that's gotten better and better now that he's gotten more reps under him lately. In no way guilty there.
Sims back to pass. Climbs the pocket and has a completion for first down yardage below the 30-yard line. Malik McLean coming back to the football with sure hands to keep this drive alive.
And ISO right here matched up against Jordan Scruggs. Scruggs coming off and just finds a little space, breaks out, and another great timing and rhythm throw from Jeff Sims, who just looks so comfortable. West Virginia really having issues getting any kind of pressure on the veteran quarterback without bringing extra bodies, and we've seen them get burned when that does happen.
3rd down and 8 throw, good for 13 yards and a new first down. At the mesh point, QB keeper Sims is spilled at the 26-yard line. Done a good job keeping hits off of him, and I think Sims, for his part, keeping hits off himself. That was probably the lesson coming out of a physical, grueling win on the road a couple of weeks ago is, look, buddy, you're our guy the rest of the way. If we're going to get back to Arlington, we need you every single Saturday.
No question. And with a 12-point lead heading into the 4th quarter now, you have an opportunity to try and send a deciding blow on this drive and continue to take those hits off, knowing you got plenty left to play for here in the month of November.
Mountaineers trying to keep their bowl hopes alive. ASU trying to stay in this Big 12 championship chase. You're watching Big 12 football on TNT Sports, presented by ASU has done all of its offensive damage in the 2nd quarter. We're heading to the 4th, and before we do, here's Coy with the reigning Big 12 Coach of the Year.
Scary moment with Bimage there just a bit ago. It seemed to rally your team a bit. How did you feel about that?
Yeah, he's going to be okay, and he's a tough kid, made a physical play, and very precautionary. But, you know, we have the Mayo Clinic as our doctors. They're some of the best in the country.
Now, they've responded from seeing a teammate go down. They responded from giving up a big play. What's the key to continue to persevere, get this dub?
Yeah, we got to go finish this drive in the end zone, you know. Going up 15 points, what does that do? It's still 2 possessions. So we got to find a way to go get this in the end zone, make this a 19-point game.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Boy, a great window into Kenny Dillingham's mindset on this drive, knowing you're in 4-down territory now in this phase of the game, understands exactly where they are with the math, and great opportunity now here for Jeff Sims with that in mind.
Pick it up at the 26 with 2nd down as he throws down the line. Malik Brown with an incredible leaping catch, but it's going to lose yardage. Arizona State in 3rd and long.
But the catch, we talked about how off-targeted Malik Brown is. Dad's at home everywhere. A little worried about the ball security on that one, but the leaping ability never in question.
So again, you wonder if ASU would consider this 4-down territory, in which case they have 2 plays to get 10 yards. And put the Mountaineers out of reach. Sims hits that back foot and deals middle. Tips and nearly picks. Malik McLean was the target. Perry, as you see, in the vicinity. And now what? Jesus Gomez, the kicker, coming on.
This is the 2nd time today we've seen clear out route with an in-cut by Malik McLean, where Jeff Sims just been a little behind with the ball placement there. Got to put it on him, or at least out in front of him a bit. And now the kicking unit comes out. 4-down territory applies if you're in range. Sitting here at 4th and 10 now. You just got to pay off your defense, who's done a phenomenal job in that 3rd quarter. Give them some relief with points.
Gomez has a long of 51. This will be 46 to take the lead out to 15. And it's blocked. McCoy and Kenny Dillingham previewed it for us as we open up this 4th quarter. They did not want to have to settle for a field goal try, and the Mountaineers just will not quit.
Arizona will face Arizona State in just a few weeks. JB?
All right, Lefko, thank you very much. Yeah, the Sun Devils hoping for a 2-loss tiebreaker situation to get back to the Big 12 championship game. As reticent as they are to root for the Wildcats today, and they were able to grin and bear it. The first piece of the puzzle is in place for the Sun Devils. Now can they handle their own business after having a field goal blocked? Here come the Mountaineers with a completion to Grayson Barnes out near midfield. After Greg Generos, a redshirt senior tight end at 6'6", got up and blocked that field goal that would have made it a 15-point deficit. Now they're back with a 17-yard gain and a new first down from their own 45. Fox to work again behind his intended target, Christian Hamilton.
Go back and see the verticality here. Right in the middle of your screen, impossible to miss. Just a phenomenal play. Snap, hold, laces out, all there.
There's Bowie in space, slicing inside for a first down below the 45-yard line. Cook made the hit. The Mountaineers are moving, looking for their second touchdown of the day.
It's been a while since they've been able to use this tempo as a weapon. A couple of first downs on this drive. Now all of a sudden can shift into that higher gear and get to work.
To extend their winning streak to 3, get a couple of those victories away from Morgantown. Another throw down the line to Bowie. Trapped down at the 39-yard line. Still good progress, 5 yards for West Virginia. They got plenty of time to work with, down 2 scores.
Easy access throws to the perimeter, finding slots in the seams right now. High-end here, shot territory if you have one in the holster.
On it with Bowers, driving the pile to the 36. Sean Elliott clogging up that running lane with help from the rest of that ASU defensive front.
This is where the Scotty Fox Jr. hammer out of the backfield comes into play. QB run. One of their favorite calls.
Here he is, the QB wrecking ball, extending it close.
Just by a hair, but looks like he's got it, judging by where the line judge is running in from.
The way 4th downs have gone today, they'll be thankful to avoid another one here if they do get a fresh first down and they're moving the chains.
And for Arizona State, a full hockey line change on defense, trying to take advantage of that right now. But a little bit out of sorts.
Fox to the outside, takes a seat, covered by Boogie Wilson.
It's a dangerous game because West Virginia didn't sub, so you didn't see the official stand over the ball and stop it. They were just using the movement of the change and that brief look at it to try and get bodies on, and you saw one of their D tackles look like he didn't know where he was supposed to line up.
Second down to the full sticks here. They fake the toss, set up the pass. Over the middle and caught. Campbell. First and goal, West Virginia. A 26-yard strike from Fox. There's a flag down back where he launched it. Fox is jogging down. He knows this is against ASU.
Take a look at the catch
First
out
and a
here.
foul, roughing the passer, defense number 10. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
That'll be a personal foul on Clayton Smith for this hit.
Anytime you see that follow through, hands up near the head or neck of the quarterback, going to be an easy call for officials. And now West Virginia first and goal from inside the 5. And who else but Curtis Jones down there in the backfield.
Leading the way for Fox to the 1.
West Virginia getting another tight end body on the field right now. Looked like Ryan Ward running in, and this should be a spot with Curtis Jones on the field. You should be able to hand the ball off twice here and find Pender. It's what he did for you so well a week ago, and you've already seen him turning out tough yards again today.
10th play of the drive for the Mountaineers. It's Jones, and the wrecking ball punches it in. His 3rd touchdown in a span of 8 days, and we've got a 1-score contest in Tempe.
Your goal line hammer now 2 weeks in a row. They talked about that package expanding some maybe this week to try and spell Dior Hubbard and the rest of this backfield group some, but make no mistake, this is what they brought him for. 6'4", 226, and difficult to bring down in tight quarters.
Now the extra points. West Virginia hanging tough on the road in Tempe. They're back within 5 on the back of Curtis Jones Jr. Yardage touchdown. They go 72 yards in 10 plays. Curtis Jones Jr. with the finishing touches.
You see a great kick out by Jacob Barrick at tight end, but Curtis Jones just gets straight up and down in the middle, keeps his pad square to the line of scrimmage, and lowers the shoulder against Jordan Crook in the middle of this ASU defense. See the ump cam right here. What it's like to have that freight train coming downhill at you. And don't look now, West Virginia not going quietly. They're ready to make this a game here in the fourth quarter.
Rich Rodriguez said necessity is the mother of invention. That's how they found Curtis Jones Jr. and Jaheim White and Ty Edwards. Chip shot kick. They found their short yardage and red zone running back for the rest of 2025. They stole them from a defensive edge. And they've thrown some game pressure now on the backs of Kenny Dillingham and the Sun Devils.
Be interested to see. It's been a great day for Jeff Sims through the air, slowed down a bit. Came into the second half, 14 of 21, just 19 of 27. Now they've subsisted largely on the ground, and that's been where they've turned to when things have gotten tough. And Raleigh Brown's got the 1 touchdown reception. He told Coy at the half he's got 2 more big plays in him on the ground. Let's see if he can deliver.
Now here's creeping. Sims feeling the heat. Slaloming through trouble. He gets out the left side. What a run by Jeff Sims.
How about Jake the Snake? I saw Jake Plummer in the crowd. He'd appreciate this slither out of the backfield by Jeff Sims. Working his way up, puts his foot in the ground. Good job by Shimon Mateer. Pull his hands back before that turned into a holding call on the perimeter. Just the dexterity in tight quarters from a player this big. Jeff Sims continuing an impressive day.
Those 14 and now has 73 rushing yards on the day. From the pistol here, he'll let his tailback look. Brown dips his shoulder and takes a big hit at the 44. Darian Lewis delivers and limits the gain to 5.
Raleigh Brown getting up, letting him know something about it too. You see him right here at the point of attack. Pads popping on that hit, fighting for extra yards. Fred Perry coming over the top. Got a slobber knocker on our hands.
Sims and the Sun Devils patient to the line of scrimmage here, trying to shorten this game, clinging to a 5-point lead. Second down. They swarm him. Sims is trapped, and he's going down for a big loss. Marshawn Oxley, for the second week in a row, shows up in crunch time for this West Virginia defense.
And you see the read option mesh point right here. Does a great job. Defenders, they call that blitzing the mesh point. Force the quarterback to make that decision under duress. And you saw the handoff. There was a great double team on that left side. Looked like Raleigh Brown could have still been going.
And a 3 down front. They send 4 at Sims. He steps up. He is hit. And West Virginia does it on defense. John Lewis, a senior linebacker for Zach Alley, gets the Mountaineers off the grass and a chance to go take the lead.
Well, we talked all day about how difficult it's been for West Virginia to muster up pressure without rushing, but you look on the back end, tied together on a string. Zach Alley's bunch leaving no easy windows for the veteran quarterback. Malik McClain's been a great option for him all day. They give that 3-man rush time to get home.
Preston Fox with an immediate retreat, fields it at the 10, gets through the first wave, dodging hits from the Sun Devils, and a phenomenal return above the 25-yard line. West Virginia shuts down Sims. They give their freshman, Scotty Fox, a chance to go capture the lead.
Almost 250 yards through the air.
An errant snap, may have been a direct snap to Bowers. I heard whistles. Did they kill the play before ASU gets a chance to recover?
Yeah, I think the red hat was still on the field. The clock hadn't yet ended.
The officials were not in position to officiate the play. We were not back from the media timeout.
I mean, I don't know how you think this is going to work. The ref's standing right there. It brushes his pant leg.
I think that's the very definition of the ball not yet being made ready for play when you got an official in formation.
You can understand the groans from the home crowd here, but abundantly clear that wasn't supposed to happen. Everyone will get a stern talking to. And the boos will rain down as the cloud cover also begins here in Tempe.
Could be some rain on the way. Bowers takes it around the left side. 2 flags thrown by both officials behind the line of scrimmage. Usually this is holding against the offense.
Holding. Offense. Number 52. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And Nick Cray, who's made every start at left tackle for the Mountaineers this season.
Been incredibly consistent, but sometimes you see the running back put his foot in the ground and get to the edge like that. Defenders start leaking off and can be tough. But now backed up, Scotty Fox Jr. probably going to have to put it through the air, which he's done well. First 7 games of the season, they averaged just 158.7 pass yards per game, 220 in the last 3 games with Fox at the helm.
They run the draw on 1st and 20, and the Sun Devils crunch it. C.J. Fight.
Talk about someone doing the dirty work. C.J. Fight, 2024 second team all Big 12 performer. Big fella getting loose in the middle.
Kenny Dillingham said that when C.J. got here, he didn't even speak. He just worked out. Now he leads, he speaks, he jokes around. Blindside sack, and Fox was fortunate to hang on. A loss of 8, it's an avalanche from this Sun Devil defense.
Justin Watley coming off a monster afternoon, and one-on-one with a tight end. You see Grayson Barnes going for a ride. A lot of times on some of these deep shot play action passing reps where you're going max pro, you end up with an unfavorable matchup like that. And Watley taking advantage of it.
Nothing in the playbook for 3rd and 27, so they swing it out to Bowers. He gets a block, full head of steam. He is there and gone. Bowers running out of gas. He slips in. A 90-yard touchdown on 3rd and 27 for the lead.
What just happened? Nothing in the playbook for 3rd and a mile. Sincere Bowers raises his hand and says, "Sincerely, I disagree." Making a miss in the open field. Cam Vaughn was getting ready to get hyped with his boy before the end zone and almost ended up letting someone come in and make a play. Great effort by Bowers from start to finish. Breaking tackles and another game-changing big play for this West Virginia offense.
For the 2nd time today, and the 3rd time in the last couple of weeks, West Virginia hits its longest scrimmage play of the season.
Oh, and now Rich Rod gonna have to burn a timeout here for the 2-point play.
Charge timeout. West Virginia. This is their final timeout of the half. It'll be a full timeout.
Boy, put a pin in that one right there. That final timeout with 6:37. Scotty Fox Jr. looking for the play coming in right now. Once again, demonstrative result from him before Rich Rod has to come burn it. But watch Sincere Bowers. The job, a swing pass. This is supposed to be a wave the white flag play, and instead makes Boogie Wilson miss at the point of attack. 2 other missed tackles in the middle of the field. And then here's the combo, but watch Cam Vaughn at the end of this. Turning around, getting in the back pedal. Before one more tackler looked like Keith Abney diving at the knees of Bowers. Just an unbelievable individual effort. Great blocking at the perimeter at the beginning of this play. As you saw Jacob Barrett come across and spring him through that initial level.
This goes down as the 4th longest touchdown pass in program history, as Bowers understandably needs a breather. Now can they take it to a field goal lead with this 2-point try? It's Fox. It's smothered. They tried Curtis Jones Jr. again, and the score remains 23-22. Oxygen at the ready for Sincere Bowers after he goes 90 for a 1-point lead.
Back-to-back weeks where these running backs have made big plays in the passing game. Remember Dior Hubbard, the 69-yard reception for West Virginia against Colorado a week ago. Take a look at the high copy again. This is supposed to be rally and tackle. Look at all the bodies you've got deep here for Arizona State. Keep everything in front of you. Rally and tackle. You get the ball on the perimeter here and just poor angles from everyone inside. You got a couple of guys getting blocked by one player. And then all of a sudden when those cutbacks start, maybe you relax a little bit. You assume it's just going to be an easy give and someone in front of you is going to make the play. And now all of a sudden the ball's in front of you full speed and you're not quite as dialed in as you need to be.
Well, Jeff Weimer was on the receiving end of a 75-yard touchdown earlier in this game. He just set a key block to lead to a 90-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter.
This home crowd stunned right now.
A low rolling kick. Sun Devils scoop up at the 20. Jaron Hamilton, long way to go. Shouldered out as he reached the 30. As Jeff Sims and the ASU offense set up, let's check in with Coy Wire.
To mount a comeback like that, you have to stick together. You have to be a team, and that's exactly what Rich Rodriguez wants at West Virginia, a team, not a bunch of self-serving individuals. He says he's tired of players wearing glow-in-the-dark mouthpieces. They don't even put them in their mouths. He's tired of the hand towels. He said they're not towels, they're tails, not even using them to dry their hands. He said, I thought the whole point of a uniform was to be a uniform, one team. He doesn't let his players dance on TikTok in their locker room anymore. First of all, they can't dance, he's told us. And secondly, they represent the whole team when they do that. Players say, Coach, we can make money on TikTok. He said, I don't care. Make plays. That's how you get paid. Rich Rod bringing the old school discipline, the toughness, and that team-first mentality. Big part of the reason this team has fought back to give themselves a chance at getting this win today.
Bowers has collected himself and caught his breath. He's able to smile now. Thank you very much, Coy Wire. Arizona State trailing for the first time since their first touchdown as Sims gets stuffed. Here's the other thing about Rich Rodriguez in West Virginia. He admitted this week that for the first time he's now mentioned the possibility of bowl eligibility, and it was unbelievably unlikely a month ago, and it's still a long shot because they've got the conference leader Texas Tech in their finale after the bye. Plus 6:08 to go here in Tempe.
Well, you're trying to establish winning habits, and that just starts with winning the week in front of you right now. You can't win any of those games before you get through today, and that focus is what got them up now.
Sims rifles one, and it's dropped. Jalen Moss put it on the deck, and there's a flag back in the pocket.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense. Number 10, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Braden Siders with a costly foul.
For an offense that looked like it was stumbling out the gate here as we take a look right at the end. Siders gets a great win against Josh Atkins, and then Leighton Lowe there, falling, losing his balance again. There's not much he can do in that situation. He's trying to be aggressive, but another play they're going to throw the flag on every time.
This drive has fresh life for Jeff Sims. Blitz from the edge. He runs right behind it. Couple of yards, and this is familiar territory for Arizona State. They've actually trailed in the fourth quarter in 3 of their last 4 wins. We're talking about Baylor and TCU and Texas Tech. They're used to this game coming down to the wire. And in one possession games, 5 of which have been decided inside the 2-minute timeout so far this season. 4-1 with the loss on the road in Starkville.
Tells you they're calm in these situations.
Second down 8 from the pistol. Malik Brown bounces it. Made one miss and is up at the 47-yard line with 3rd and manageable. Coming at the 5-minute mark.
Officials timeout for an injury to an offensive player.
It's Shimon Mateer, who's already up and on his feet, but will have to leave for a play.
Great news to see him up and on his feet, but man, light on his feet is Malik Brown. You get into space, you're a second-level defender coming downhill. You're just hoping and praying because he's a guy that can have you hugging air pretty quickly, down in and down out. So Mateer off the field, as you mentioned there, but JB, you talked about the medal in those big moments. It means you're not going to press in these spots. That's where the experience of a Jeff Sims and some of these other guys comes into play, where all of a sudden you're not worried looking around wondering who's going to make the big play for you. If someone's going to flinch or make a mistake, you're used to having to execute. And this is what coaches work all offseason for. You try and manufacture these situations in the weight room, in the summer, to hopefully go and do what they've done in clutch moments.
They'll take 3rd and 2 from a 2 tight end set, leading their quarterback to a new first down as he shouldered to the turf at the 37 by Fred Perry.
Raleigh Brown, we talked about the running powers. Watch him leading up for the quarterback through the gap right here. Gets a great pop at the second level. Moves the chains. Fred Perry coming over and making Sims feel every bit, body blow after body blow, trying to see if they'll break eventually for a quarterback that's looked like he's made a steal so far.
And first down as we approach the 4-minute mark. Sims takes another high snap. This one he gives to Brown. Interesting how the skies, the weather, have followed the fortunes of the Sun Devils earlier in this quarter. Under sunny skies, they had the football with a 2-possession lead before their field goal was blocked. Would have made it a 15-point margin, and now they're in the trailing position with storms on the way.
And for a team that's made its living on the ground game, and you're seeing it again on this drive, you got to keep an eye out for those snaps if the ball starts to get wet out here, as we've already seen Wade Helton putting a couple up where even his 6'4" quarterback's got to jump to reach him.
See Gomez, the place kicker, waiting if called upon. Once again above his helmet. 6'4" Sims has to go up to collect that snap, and he makes it to the 31-yard line. Reed Carrico stops him there. Gain of 2, 3rd down, and counting down a 3-minute mark.
And the tough part about the snap even being that high is when you're doing all these zone read plays where the quarterback's got to make split-second decisions, reading the defensive end, reading the linebacker. He's got to drift his eyes up first to do that, so you're slowing down the mechanics of a play that's about timing and execution at high speeds.
Sean Mateer is back. 2 tight end set with Harpole right. Blitz off the left edge. It's tipped up, and it's incomplete. Fred Perry is everywhere for West Virginia. 4th down and 4 awaits, and the field goal unit coming on for Kenny Dillingham. We'll keep our eye out for Greg Genross, the senior tight end, who just blocked Gomez's most recent try. "49 yards for Jesus Gomez. Inside of 3 minutes to go in regulation. For the lead. Money! No flinch from Gomez. The lefty place kicker has Arizona State back on the high side.
Already, with the incredible clutch execution on the 2-point play off the fake field goal earlier, and now coming off a play where you had a field goal blocked in a similar range before. Stands in, snap, Holt gets the ball down with the laces out, and drives it just past the outstretched arms again at the block point.